If we want to live in this patch of the world, we have to involve them. We have to empower them. So from learning to earning is a beautiful initiative.
Federal government prospects 20 million Nigerians for digital skills in 5 years. No preceding government ran the race better than the Tinubu administration in 2 years, Information Minister asserts.
There is a clear indication that there is progression in the management of our security system.
State and local governments, as well as healthcare professionals, must all prioritize women's health.
Another ray of hope beams for cervical cancer survivors in Nigeria as First Lady broadens coalition to end the scourge. Hello and welcome to the Network News on NTA. I am Lisbeth Omori. Ajola Komiakere will be reading from Lagos. Our busy businessman, Benny Adams, will serve us some business reports. Benny?
Well, investors are smiling home with billions of naira as the all-share index of the Nigerian stock exchange market appreciates by 0.2%. We'll keep you up to date.
That's good to know. And Badi Adeleye will bring us some sporting stories.
Big win for Nigeria's Super Falcons earlier today in a friendly against their Cameroonian rivals. Details when we get to sports.
Thank you, Buddy. And do endeavor to follow this newscast live on our website and other social handles displayed on your screen. For his years of humanitarian service in Nigeria, President Bola Tinubu has conferred a national honor, Commander of the Order of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, on the co-chair of the Gates Foundation, Bill Gates. Details of this report as we progress. Now, to digital literacy, the federal government has renewed its partnership with UNICEF to train and empower 20 million young Nigerians with digital skills by 2030. Vice President Kashim Shettima gave the hint during a meeting with UNICEF officials at the presidential villa. State House correspondent Abdurrahman Jibrila reports.
How are you? Good to see you.
The Generation Unlimited Nigeria, an initiative, aligns with the federal government's Renewed Hope agenda, which prioritizes inclusive development, digital innovation, and youth empowerment as tools for national transformation. Vice President Kashim Shettima has accepted to chair the board of Generation Unlimited Nigeria, a public-private youth partnership platform constituted to help young Nigerians between the ages of 10 and 24 transition from learning to earning through digital connectivity. He stressed that Nigeria is not seeking handouts, but sustainable, equitable partnerships.
This is why I'm very passionate about this digital initiative. Beyond leadership in our own enlightened self-interest, if we want to live in this patch of the world, we have to involve them. We have to empower them. So from learning to earning is a beautiful initiative. And honestly, more than any other platform, the digital space gives us the easiest window to get the youth engaged.
This go beyond UNICEF. It embraces the overall mandate of the United Nations and the support we have. And also it touched and resonated so well with the Renewed Hope agenda. And I thought that maybe I would lead the delegation and provide my support. And as we take it from here, we'll be along the team in this journey of supporting young people in Nigeria.
Youth engagement and youth empowerment. The core of everything is how do we make Nigerian young people fit for purpose for the job market? Because globally there is a mismatch between the curriculum that are being taught and what is actually required in the job market. So this is an opportunity to break that dichotomy.
Since its launch in 2022, Generation Unlimited Nigeria has impacted over 10 million young people with 1,500 jobs linkages already secured and to reach a target of 20 million youth by 2030. The stakeholders must strengthen coordination among partners and align closely with national policy. From the State House, Abraham Jibrila, NTA News.
Talking health, a new vista of hope is on the horizon for Nigerian women in their battle against a silent killer, cervical cancer. This follows the flag off of a new campaign, Partnership to Eliminate Cervical Cancer in Nigeria, PESN, as a broad coalition against the scourge by Nigeria's First Lady, Oluremi Tinubu. State House correspondent Adeni Taiwo brings us details.
Cervical cancer posts grim figures and pictures among Nigerian women as the second most common cancer and a silent killer. Critical stakeholders in the Nigerian health sector and international and domestic partners who are gathered in this hall have one shared resolve, and that is to mount a firm resistance against the ravaging spread and impact of the scourge among women, working under a fresh campaign, Partnership to Eliminate Cervical Cancer in Nigeria, PESN.
This is indeed the beginning of a transformational journey
for Nigeria's First Lady, Oluremi Tinubu, who was recently enlisted by the National Task Force on Cervical Cancer to lead the charge against the scourge. Their partnership marks a symbolic stand against the disease.
Nigeria has shown that it is possible to eliminate cervical cancer by 2030. Last year, Nigeria made a breakthrough by launching the human papilloma virus vaccine, HPV, nationally, protecting over almost 14 million girls in just 9 months.
Through RHI, the First Lady is leading by example by committing a sum of 1 billion naira to the campaign. She says funding, along with other forms of support, is critical to effectively drive the campaign.
I thank all our partners for standing with us, but we cannot stop there. We must build on this momentum and expand HPV screening, scale up treatment through innovative, cost-effective technologies, and establish these services where they matter most. I call on all our state governors, business leaders, and development partners to join in supporting this laudable initiative. Together, we must invest in a future where no woman dies from a disease that is preventable.
On behalf of the 36 states of the Federation, I formally endorse PESN initiative and affirm our commitment.
With the launch of PESN campaign, the mandate of the National Task Force on Cervical Cancer to accelerate Nigeria's progress towards achieving WHO Global Cervical Elimination Strategy by 2030 is now within reach.
Under the Renew Hope agenda, 6 cancer centers of excellence are being established, one per geopolitical zone, to provide comprehensive cancer prevention services, diagnosis, and treatment. 3 of these centers are now ready for commissioning.
In addition, the infrastructure that we are going to put in place for cervical cancer will be the same infrastructure that we are going to use to treat prostate cancer, breast, all other cancers.
WHO is proud to work alongside you and many partners, including the National Task Force on Cervical Cancer Elimination.
The inauguration of PESN campaign drew loud applause with endorsement from development partners, the Governors Forum, and the private sector. From the banquet hall of the Presidential Villa, Adeni Taiwo, NTA News.
To drug interception in a major crackdown on drug smuggling, the Office of the National Security Advisor has confirmed the destruction of over 200 containers of illicit substances. Defense correspondent Ismail Musa reports that the NSA made the confirmation during a meeting with the Tripartite Committee established to curb the proliferation of illicit drugs.
We'll never relent.
This meeting in the Office of the National Security Advisor provides an avenue for members of the task force set up to combat proliferation of illicit drugs to present their scorecard. Recently, 207 containers of illegal substances were destroyed. From unregistered pharmaceuticals to harmful narcotics, the operation is part of a broader national action plan.
There have been instances of these containers being pilfered and the medicines or illicit drugs getting into the market. We have destroyed 137 40-foot truckloads of unregistered products, banned products, expired products that will have killed so many women, especially.
What this exercise showed us was the strength of partnership and the fact that we stay stronger when we work together.
The NDLEA echoed the success, commending the NSA's task force for its impact on curbing drug flow into communities. The National Security Advisor lauded the efforts and stressed the administration's commitment to crushing drug trade.
Working as one, a platform that all will come together and will defeat evil. We have done it. We have seen it. Taking 200 and something containers out of the market, is an amazing feat. And it's still counting. We are doing more, and we are not going to relent.
A certificate of destruction was handed to the NSA, where plaques and commendations were awarded to the heads of the three agencies. With thousands of arms and more drugs scheduled for destruction, the message from Nigeria's security apparatus is clear. The war on illicit trade is far from over, and it is being fought from all fronts. In Abuja, Ismail Musa, NTA.
Thank you, Ismail. Now, for his years of humanitarian services in Nigeria, President Bola Tinubu has conferred a national honor, Commander of the Order of the Federal Republic, on the co-chair of the Gates Foundation, Bill Gates. The president performed the ceremony at his Lagos residence, where Mr. Gates visited this Tuesday evening. The president appreciated co-founder of Microsoft for his contributions to the development of Nigeria for about 2 decades.
It's the day to share happiness and respect, acknowledge one of the greatest human beings that the world has brought. All I need to say is thank you, Bill Gates, for your indivisible commitment to humanity. It is highly remarkable. It's an inspiration to leadership across the world, including the one standing before you. I thank you very much.
The Gates Foundation has been contributing aids to Nigeria in the health and agricultural sectors. Gates promised to double investment in humanitarian services across the world with attention to Nigeria. Now, the presidential initiative to unlock healthcare value chain, PVAC, and the National Malaria Elimination Program have convened a meeting with 3 private pharmaceutical companies to discuss federal government's evolving model for malaria elimination. National coordinator of PVAC, Dr. Abdul Mukhtar, says the collaborative effort aims to rapidly scale up malaria elimination efforts in Nigeria, as the initiative aligns with President Bola Tinubu's mandate to unlock the healthcare value chain of localizing production, ensuring affordability, accessibility, and long-term sustainability.
Today we are here really just to engage with these companies to explain to them this new evolving model that NMAP and partners have come up with, which is very, is going to be very transformative in the fight against malaria and in our desire to eliminate malaria, and have that discussion and explain to them what we are trying to do and see how they can key in.
The meeting held in Abuja brought together stakeholders from allied agencies and companies in the health sector. The Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, says no preceding government has achieved what the Tinubu administration has achieved within 2 years. At the 2025 forum organized by the Voice of Nigeria, stakeholders were unanimous that national unity and citizens' trust are key to achieving national security. Saliu Abdullahi brings us details.
The forum, with the theme Renewed Hope Agenda, Citizens' Engagement and National Security, showcased the new vision and direction the Voice of Nigeria, under the Ministry of Information and National Orientation, is exploring non-kinetic approach in fighting the lingering insecurity.
Together, let's amplify Nigerians' truth, strength at home and across the board. In the voice of Nigeria, like we are shown today, we are ready and we are good to go.
As community leaders, I am here just to pledge our commitments towards providing continuous support to what security agencies are already doing.
Those kind of brief and feedback from the DSS, from the police, from the security agencies has actually enlightened and also helped us to ensure that we reach the people as quick as possible.
The Minister of Information and National Orientation acknowledged the initiative as among critical policies as he drives to protect the nation's integrity through responsible media engagement.
We are not saying that the security situation in the country has been fully resolved. Certainly not. But there is a clear indication that there is progression in the management of our security system. And for the first time, more in a long time, we are seeing a heightened coordination between all members of the security forces to ensure that all of us can sleep in our houses. We know that there are challenges, but we must appreciate Nigerian Armed Forces, the security agencies, for the work that they do.
Stakeholders were unanimous that peacekeeping in Nigeria is a task for all.
The journey to national security is not a sprint. It is a relay, indeed a collective relay of trust, vigilance, sacrifice, and leadership.
Border management is very critical. I've had countries, because of the level of insecurity they had to fence their borders. Can we start thinking of fencing our borders? We have 1,500 kilometers with Niger Republic, 1,900 kilometers with Cameroon. Chad is there. All over us, surrounded by Francophone countries, and the Sahel is heating up. Gentlemen, if we don't do anything, when the Sahel falls, it is Nigeria that everybody is interested in.
It's a challenge for all of us to find a way of telling our story in the right way, in the right perspective.
Citizens should be engaged to support the policies to counter the propaganda of the bandits.
Among its repositioning efforts, Voice of Nigeria has established more units and is expanding its international broadcasting role with additional 4 new languages. In Abuja, Salihu Abdullahi Gwanara, NTA News.
And back to the Gates confirming for his years of humanitarian services in Nigeria, President Bola Tinubu has conferred a national honor, Commander of the Order of the Federal Republic, on the co-chair of the Gates Foundation, Bill Gates. The president performed the ceremony at his Lagos residence, where Mr. Gates visited this Tuesday evening. The president appreciated co-founder of Microsoft for his contributions to the development of Nigeria for about 2 decades.
Respect. Acknowledge one of the greatest human beings that the world has brought. All I need to say is thank you, Bill Gates, for your indivisible commitment to humanity. It is highly remarkable. It's an inspiration to leadership across the world, including the one standing before you. I thank you very much.
The foundation has been contributing aids to Nigeria in the health and agricultural sectors, as well as promoting financial inclusion. Gates promised to double investment in humanitarian services across the world, with attention to Nigeria.
Amazing things that we've done together. Let me say I'm totally dedicated over the next 20 years to finishing the job, whether it's building up the data systems, getting the vaccines out to all the children, getting solutions for malnutrition that not only is responsible for a lot of deaths, but also cuts off the potential of the children who suffer from malnutrition. You know, some of our goals may seem very ambitious. For example, during the next 20 years, we do hope to completely eradicate malaria. And
the government of Nigeria recognize what what he has actually done. In the last couple of years, he has spent about $2 billion, and we jointly have committed quite a lot of money to spend fighting polio, malaria, and maternal health. He's done very well. I think he deserves what he got, which is CFR.
And the fact that as a philanthropist, he's a good example by committing to spend $200 billion over the next 20 years all over the world, helping improve humanity. That is really a food for thought for a lot of those who are well-to-do to consider what they can do to society.
In another news, the presidency has raised concerns about a deceitful statement credited to a factional Afenifere group, wherein the said group deliberately attempted to find faults in the current administration's economic reforms. In a statement by the Special Advisor to the President on Media and Public Communications, Sunday Dari, the Presidency observed that under the renewed hope agenda of President Bola Tinubu, Nigeria's comeback story is firmly underway. It says a balanced assessment based on available data reveals a more objective picture with significant achievements amid the challenges expected from a country like Nigeria with decades-old problems. First of all, removal of fuel subsidy and floating of the naira have obviously resulted in macroeconomic gains for the country, saving over $10 billion in 2023 alone, boosting foreign reserves. The government's cash transfer program to the over 5.7 million poorest households, the Presidential Loan and Grant Scheme, over 600,000 beneficiaries of the Students' Loan Scheme, NEL Fund, 70,000 naira minimum wage, new NYC monthly stipend of 77,000 naira, free CNG kits distributed to thousands of commercial drivers, $10 billion in forex debts cleared, federal account allocation to states growing by 60%, 50 billion naira released to end the perennial ASU strikes, and over 1,000 primary health centers already revitalized nationwide. Over 20,000 affordable housing units under construction under the Renewed Hope Cities program. Meanwhile, the statement noted efforts to improve fiscal discipline by removing the Ways and Means financing regime, thereby implementing aspects of the Onosai report on the merger of government agencies to reduce expenditure. The current administration is combating corruption, including suspension of Humanitarian Affairs Minister Betaido over alleged fund diversion. The administration says it is expediting action on all pending investigations and prosecution of corrupt practices, as the EFCC recorded 4,111 convictions, $214.5 million, and 31,265 euros, all recovered from suspected criminal acts. And the final forfeiture in 2025 of 725 duplexes and other apartments in Abuja, while criticisms of INEC employing party members are yet to be proven by anyone. Security agencies under the current administration have recorded successes neutralizing terrorists, bandits, and insurgents in the past year through proactive security strategies. In the run-up to the 2027 electioneering period, it said claims of government-sponsored conflicts with opposition parties lack concrete evidence and should be ignored, as the government is focused on improving on the Moody's latest upgrade of Nigeria's economic outlook, a rating that indicates that the Tinubu administration is on the right path. While the government is not oblivious to some discontent and difficult times among Nigerians, it has displayed an urgency to deliver more tangible results. Under President Tinubu's administration, You're watching the network news on NTA. Let's take a breather. More reports when we return. Thanks for staying with us. The search and rescue efforts for flood victims in Mokwa local government area of Niger State are now focused downstream of the River Niger. The State Emergency Management says they are utilizing divers and fishermen from the riverside community to gather information about missing persons to assist in recovering bodies. Since the incident on Wednesday, approximately 200 bodies have been recovered and buried, while many individuals, including children, remain unaccounted for. Figures released by the National and State Emergency Management Organizations indicate that 503 households and 264 homes have been affected, resulting in the displacement of more than 3,000 individuals. Victims are gradually receiving assistance and support from the government and various organizations. However, heavy traffic in the town is hindering the movement of humanitarian aids to those in need. Now, the African Medical Center of Excellence Abuja is set to bridge gaps in the health care delivery to Nigerians and Africans. The medical center, developed by African Export-Import Bank in partnership with King's College Hospital London and other investment partners, will deliver world-class services to aid patient satisfaction and reduce medical tourism. The center will be inaugurated on the 5th of June 2025. The state-of-the-art medical facilities housing advanced medical equipment to address serious health challenges. The more than $300 million health investment will provide services for oncology, hematology, cardiovascular care, and general surgery, also conduct medical research and training. Management of the African Medical Center for Excellence, Abuja, and other partners say the initiative will help address health concerns of Nigerians and Africans.
Our cyclotron-powered PET-CT suite, the first suite of this energy level in sub-Saharan Africa, capable of producing its own radio tracers, cutting critical wait times from weeks to hours, and enabling same-day administration of breast, cervical, and prostate cancer. We will deliver comprehensive, advanced, patient-centered, compassionate care right here in West Africa, so no West African ever needs a passport to find hope.
The AMC Abuja is not just a hospital. It is a bold statement that speaks to what is possible when Africa takes ownership of its future and economic development.
The African Medical Center for Excellence, Abuja, is equipped with 3 catheterization labs, 15 post-isolation rooms, 5 operating theaters, CT scanners, among other diagnostic and treatment tools. Others include 18 MeV cyclotron and stem cell laboratory to treat and cure sickle cell disease. The facility currently has 170 beds and intends to expand to 500 within 5 years. Still talking health, advocates of people with inherited blood disorders are pushing for comprehensive coverage of all kinds of blood disorders in health insurance schemes nationwide. This call emerged from a meeting of inherited blood disorders advocates from across Africa, which took place here in Abuja. Salwa Khalil Ibrahim brings us details.
Until Nigeria gets it right with sickle cell disease, the global body will not get it right.
Sickle cell is one of the most common inherited blood disorders, with Nigeria bearing the highest global burden of the disease. Approximately 150,000 newborns are affected annually, and an estimated 6 million people in the country are living with the condition. Aliyu, a warrior turned advocate, has been battling sickle cell for 32 years, highlighting the challenges many face.
You can't imagine, it's unimaginable pain. I have undergone total hip replacement, which each and every sickle cell patient knows about it.
In Nigeria, access to treatment is a major issue, with cost being a significant barrier. To address this, the Global Action Network for Sickle Cell and Other Inherited Blood Disorders, in collaboration with Sickle Cell Nigeria, is leading the advocacy.
And that's the reason why we are asking for National Inherited Blood Disorders Day in every country, so we can have the awareness, visibility, and get more policy makers to have empathy around these disorders.
They need to have expert care, and it's expensive, and they pay out of pocket. They should be treated free. Those are the kind of laws that we want, laws that make sense.
And that's where advocacy comes in. Honestly, we cannot achieve much, if anything, without strong advocacy, both by the larger community and the community of patients themselves.
We need to stand up and speak up so that government can allocate more funds to addressing these two conditions in our country.
For better support and treatment for millions of people affected by sickle cell, thalassemia, hemophilia, and other inherited blood disorders. In Abuja, Salwa Khalil Ibrahim, NTA News.
Meanwhile, in a bold step towards eradicating tuberculosis among children, Jigawa State has flagged off the 2025 National Childhood TB Week. The campaign seeks to strengthen collaboration across all levels, from community leaders to national stakeholders, in the fight against one of Nigeria's deadliest yet preventable diseases. Mohammed Musa Skira reports.
Representing the Nigerian First Lady, Senator Oloremi Tinubu, the Jigawa State First Lady, Hadiza Umar Namadi, led the flag-off ceremony with a passionate call to action. She was represented by Aisha Aminu Usman, wife of the Deputy Governor, with the theme "End Tuberculosis in Children, Find, Treat and Protect. Every child deserves a TB-free future." The week-long campaign focuses on advocacy and community outreach for early detection of TB, especially among children and other vulnerable persons in the state. Health development partners, including Leprosy Mission Nigeria, UNICEF, and the World Health Organization, lauded the initiative and called for a deeper collaboration to defeat the disease, which still claims over 1 million lives annually in the country.
No child in Jigawa, Nigeria, or anywhere in the world should suffer from tuberculosis. It is time to rise to the challenge, strengthen our commitment, and work hand in hand to ensure a healthier future for all.
Health workers are trying their best to see that TB has come to an end.
Adding innovation to action, the First Lady also unveiled a cutting-edge diagnostic technology designed to enhance the early detection and treatments of tuberculosis. These devices will be installed in all the 27 local government areas in the state. From Tuti, Muhammad Musa Askira, NTA News.
Away from health, education in Yobi State has received another boost as Northeast Development Commission hands over 3 newly constructed mega schools to the state government. Yunusa Suleiman reports.
That marks the official inauguration of Arikime 2 Mega School Porto School, constructed by the Northeast Development Commission, with the intention of decongesting Arikime 1, which currently accommodates over 20,000 pupils. The primary section of the mega school has 2-story buildings with 4 blocks of 24 classrooms, 8 stalls, 32 toilets, while the junior secondary section has 2-story buildings with administrative block of 7 offices, 1 store, 6 toilets, as well as 1 block of 2 units of 2-bedroom staff quarters, among other facilities.
Thank you very much, Northeast Development Commission.
The handover of the school marks another milestone in the Commission's efforts to boost the education sector of the state.
Gone round to physically inspect the facilities constructed. And I must say that I am delighted, and all of us are delighted with the quality of work that has been delivered here.
We have to express our appreciation to the Northeast Development Commission for this gigantic effort. The Northeast Development Commission have done a lot in other areas apart from education.
From our records, we have 20,200 enrollment as at today. And Alhamdulillah, what we intend to do is that we will relocate 40% of those students from the old site to this.
The mega schools in Geshua and Bunyadi, equipped with similar facilities as Arikime 2, were also inaugurated and handed over to the state government, expected to enhance the overall quality of education in the state. In the Matru, Yunusa Suleiman, NTA News.
And students sitting for the ongoing 2025 Senior Secondary School Certificate Examination have appealed for quick implementation of the computer-based examination format across the country. The students made the appeal when the Minister of State for Education monitored the exercise organized by the West African Examination Council, WAEC, in Abuja. Olayinka Ojo reports.
Rosemary Arinze and Esther Chukudi are students of Government Secondary School, Apo. They are writing the ongoing Senior Secondary School Certificate Examination, but using the pen and paper process. They, however, hope for a quick transition to computer-based examination, where the pens are finally up and the fingers taking the computer.
There will be no exam and practice. You just go straight and write your exam on time.
The timing and the cooperation, and it's better because writing with paper, I think it brings noise.
Applauding the conduct of the examination while monitoring the exercise at two schools, one of which employed the computer-based format, the Minister of State for Education assured that government will stop at nothing in ensuring smooth transition and provision of infrastructure from paper to computer.
Right now we are doing stakeholders engagement. The main essence is to look at all these challenges within the rural locations, urban locations, and also prepare before next year. We will not roll out something when we know that a particular group of students will be excluded. No, each and every child will have the opportunity to write the examination. So with the objective examination, only the keys to answer ABC are going to be left open for the student to actually key in the answer. While for the written essay examination, what we are going to make use of is a slate. It's just like a book that you write and automatically it will translate it and upload it.
The examination is expected to end on the 20th of June 2025. Olayinka Ojo, NTA News.
This is the network news on NTA, and it's time to join Adeola in Lagos for more reports.
Elizabeth. Some individuals, especially persons with special needs, underprivileged, traders and artisans, are about to be transformed as staff of multinational digital telecommunication mobile telephone network provider MTN have embarked on their yearly community outreach tagged Yellow Care initiative project, targeted at empowering more Nigerians with different skills. Diana Ajale reports was at the official flag of, of the project in Lagos. She now completes the report.
21 days of Yellow Care. Connecting. That signifies the official flag off of MTN's Yellow Care 21 Days Project 2025.
In addition to
declared open by the Chief Executive Officer, MTN Nigeria, Carl Toriola, said the MTN Yellow Care will be taking place across some identified communities with special needs, leveraging impactful innovative skills.
This is what we do as MTN. Our staff with their personal and direct involvement to give back to communities. MTN, of course, contributes economically through its economic activities, contributes through taxes and through our foundation. But for 21 days every year, the staff themselves get their hands dirty and get involved in projects to give back to the community.
There are a lot of people who are already living under coverage.
The Yellow Care campaign, which focuses on connecting people across the grassroots, aims to break the digital divide by providing access to literacy and inclusion for remote and underserved communities, particularly women, girls, youths, people with disabilities, and displaced populations.
We're very clear about our role in enabling our communities and individuals. And so for us, every opportunity and everything that we do at MTN is about how the community is better, how individuals get better, how the nation gets better. So I'd say look out for the Yellow Care train. We just might be behind your house.
Other 2025 projects embarked upon by MTN are Momo Market, which storms every Tuesday, with donation of textbooks, and Yellow Mama and Yellow Papa digital services. The MTN's 21 Days of Yellow Care 2025 flagship employee volunteerism program runs from June 1 to June 21, 2025. The theme of the program is Connecting at the Grassroots. In Lagos, Diana Ajale, NTA News.
And that's it from Lagos. There'll be more reporting in a bit, and then we'll return to Elizabeth in Abuja.
Good to know you're still there, and it's time to talk business. Our busy businessman, Benny, is ready. Benny?
Thank you, Elizabeth. Now, the Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment says every barrel of crude oil and every metric unit of gas exported should be measured with utmost precision, transparency, and integrity. This is as the country still records high volume of oil theft. Hence, the training of legal metrology officers of the Weights and Measures Department of the Ministry on best global practices in measurement for pre-shipment inspection of crude oil and gas exports.
As Nigeria is witnessing crude oil theft, so by the time you know the quantity of crude oil being lifted, you report back to the government, and then the government will know precisely, the amounts, they are taken out of the country.
When you are picked as a novice who has never been to the crude oil export terminal to carry out any such activity, you will definitely not know what is going on there, even if you get there. The next thing that you're supposed to do is to pass through this training to equip you, because otherwise that person will just go there as one who is on sightseeing.
So together with other government agencies and the industry players, these participants should be able to come up with the necessary accurate figures. They should be able to carry out their duties with highest level of professionalism.
It's also a very high-risk job because we are exposed to a lot of risk. But it's something that we need to do because the country needs it.
Okay, let's talk at markets now. At the end of today's trading session on the Nigerian Stock Exchange, a total of 622.6 million shares in 17,044 deals corresponding to a market value of 16.123 billion naira were traded as investors gained 259.48 billion naira with market capitalization closing at 70.89 trillion following renewed investors' interest. Compared with the previous trading day, today's data shows 20% improvement in volume and 60% improvement in turnover. On the aggregate, 128 listed equities participated in trading, ending with 36 gainers and 32 losers. And looking at it, on the top trade, we have Fidelity Bank with 108.1 million shares, followed by Legend Inc. 60.9 million and UBA 55.7 million. This is it and business at this time. It's time to take another break. Do stay with us.
Next is Sports Update with Buddy.
Many thanks, Elizabeth. Let's begin with women's football, as the Super Falcons of Nigeria secured a commanding 2-0 victory over the indomitable Lionesses of Cameroon in an international friendly on Tuesday evening at the MQ Abiola Sports Arena in Abeokuta. Captain Rashidat Ajibade was the difference, scoring both goals in the first half to cap off a well-coordinated team performance. The Super Falcons will next turn their attention to another friendly against Portugal as preparations continue in full gear for what promises to be a defining summer in African women's football. Let's turn our attention to the men now, as the Super Eagles of Nigeria are intensifying training in Moscow ahead of Friday's friendly against their Russian counterparts. The 19 players in camp, including new invitee, Russia-based Olusegun Olakunle of Krasnodar FC, were put through their paces by head coach Eric Chole and his assistants at the Moskvich Stadium in Moscow as they target a win against the home side. That'll be all on sports tonight. Let's return to Elizabeth.
Thank you so much, Buddy. And that's the news. Thank you so much for your time. I'm Elizabeth Omori.